All right, Saagar, what are you looking at?
Well, okay, let me say this at the outset. I never set to cause chaos. On Tuesday evening, I was minding my own business. I went to the gym. I sat down at my computer, catch up on the news. I noticed a funny story. Vijaya Gadde, the head of Twitter's policy team, the chief censor at the company, who famously sat on the Joe Rogan podcast, Gaslit the World, on their policies when she was pressed by Tim Pool, reportedly broke down crying in a meeting after Musk bought the company. Here's a tweet. Basically, what I said. My editorial was that she was, quote, very upset about the Elon Musk takeover and noted that she was the one responsible for censoring the Hunter Biden laptop story. Was it mean-spirited? Kinda. But I have no sympathy for the people at the top of the censorship regime, and I admit some serious schadenfreude was going on. So I sent it, and I moved on. Until my phone buzzed, and since then has basically not stopped buzzing. I checked it, and turned out that Elon Musk himself had replied to that tweet with, quote, suspending the Twitter account of a major news organization for publishing a truthful story was obviously inappropriate. Now, look, obviously, I never expected Elon to reply, and I agree with the sentiment. I thought it was a good thing to see the new owner of Twitter respond on a matter where Twitter so obviously, flagrantly titled its censorship regime on the part of a single candidate in the race. Honestly, I didn't see how anyone could really disagree with what he said. But was I wrong? The blue tech technology press got very upset. Not just with me, but with Elon, and reverted to their favorite accusation, that Elon and I were apparently racist and sexist for targeting Vijaya Gadde. The San Francisco correspondent for the Financial Times, Dave Lee, immediately said, moments after Elon Musk publicly criticized the work of Twitter policy exec Vijaya, her Twitter mentions are full of hateful tweets. Is this how he plans to run the company? It was retweeted thousands of times. Oh God, not hateful tweets. Oh no. So Elon is responsible for what random people say because he and I highlight that she was part of one of the most shameful events in the company's history and behind one of the top reasons Elon bought the company in the first place. Tech press dean Kara Swisher jumped in, saying it was appalling to see Vijaya attacked. She begged Jack Dorsey to come to her defense, decrying, quote, racist rants against her on Twitter. So, let's say it. Racist tweets against Vijaya are obviously bad. But this is a Taylor Lorenz tried and true tactic. You are not allowed to criticize people, even if they are in immense positions of power, because people might be mean to them. Now, noticeably, of course, they're allowed to be mean to you, and when people are mean to you as a result of their criticism, then anything that you have to say is totally illegitimate. How about this? Let's be mean to each other. If there's fallout, so be it. Furthermore, this fits a pattern. If this were a normal Twitter employee making like $100 grand, a 27-year-old program or something, that's a fair enough response. But this woman was literally in charge of the most censorious action in Twitter history, from Hunter Biden laptops to making the call to take Trump off the platform. Furthermore, as you see before you, she received a 130% raise last year, bringing her total compensation to $16.9 million, up from the $8 million she was paid in 2020. I got no sympathy for somebody who is a public figure and a multimillionaire getting criticized for purely policy reasons. The fallout continued, though. The press really just would not let it go. Will Ormius, he's the technology reporter at the Washington Post, was extraordinarily upset, saying Elon had now publicly agreed with and amplified criticisms from the right of two Twitter employees. One, myself, who accused the top policy exec of censorship, and another, a company lawyer for facilitating fraud. Now, let's dissect that latter tweet. In the latter one, Mike Cernovich on Twitter highlighted that Twitter's lawyer, Jim Baker, who was general counsel at the FBI, was one of the people who personally arranged a meeting between the FBI and Michael Sussman, who you might remember as a fabulous liar pushing Russiagate lies ahead of the 2016 election. Baker was later criminally investigated by the FBI for lying and was forced out for his role in Russiagate. All Elon replied was, quote, sounds pretty bad. Yeah, it is. A Russiagate liar working as a lawyer at the company seems bad, especially when that company censored the Hunter Biden laptop story. Calling those things out doesn't even seem crazy. This is how the Washington Post phrased it. Imagine getting up and going to work in the morning for a company whose new owner is systematically attacking your colleagues, to his 84 million followers in public for a site you work for, and knowing you might be next. This is the worst case scenario Twitter employees feared. Yeah, good. They should be afraid. They've been running our public square with their censorious ideology for nearly a decade. The fusion of the censors with their lapdogs and defenders in the press are exactly how we got where we are today. It shows you just how dangerous the machine became. The press sets the tone for what is disinformation. The censors act on that. Then, if you attack the censors, the press attacks you. It's a fascinating and important lesson, how fused the entire system is. It's exactly why I have many, many reservations about Elon. And look, I don't think that putting your faith in any one person is a good thing, but his purchase of Twitter and making it known it will no longer be business as usual is unambiguously a net positive, at least right now. And watching these people freak out and cry, kick and scream as they lose power over us, that's something we should celebrate. Let the tears flow. Let speech go unhindered, because it's going to be a fun few years. And that's the thing, Crystal, the Russiagate one.
Cable news is ripping us apart, dividing the country, making it impossible to function as a society, and making it impossible to know just what is true and what is false. But the good news is they are failing and they know it.
That is why we're building something new, a new mainstream, a healthier one, something more trustworthy, something that we are going to need in one of the most pivotal times in American history. We are building up here for the midterms, for the upcoming presidential election, but we need your help. So if you can help us out by becoming a premium member today at breakingpoints.com, we're trying to change America for the better and the entire world.
So what are you waiting for, guys? Go to breakingpoints.com and sign up and help us build a new mainstream.